The other way, which I equally love, is being on podcasts. Now, I love being on podcasts deeply because I normally don't get asked about my thing as much, if that makes sense. So a guest expert is always a training, really.
Yeah.
Podcasts, they tend to ask me more questions about me and
Helen,
my business, which I like because it's just, you know, a bit different. But what I love about podcasts is that it's open source public information.
Yeah.
So if you think the portal stuff is behind, you know, it's usually behind a paywall for the people, podcasts are out there forever. And I've only found this out recently, is you can create a playlist of all the podcasts you've been on.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. So you can create a playlist that has all the podcasts
Why
you've
didn't
been
Mark
on.
tell us that?
I don't know. Someone told me that in my comments and I was like, that blew my mind.
I know you can do that on YouTube. So you can create a playlist of other places that, you know, you've been. And I've seen people do that superbly. But that's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the podcasts and stuff.
And the podcasts are some of my, again, I think best content. And also, so just very leveraged because they're out there forever. And then that person's, the thing with podcasts is you've got to promote it as much as the person whose podcast it is. And you should.
Yeah.
So we promote it hard to our audience. Then we get that win-win. But then the person whose podcast is going to obviously go and keep promoting that podcast forevermore when they get new guests. And then if people love the podcast, they might go back in time. So it's good. I think it's a really, really strong leveraged way to spend an hour is to be on someone else's podcast, for sure.
I totally agree with you. And I think the other thing I would say there is when you start out and you're not world famous,
yeah,